Okay, that might work. It might. I don't know if it will. I've had enough of it anyway. That's all I'm gonna do for now. Okay. Okay. Welcome back from the pre-stream, the pre-stream extravaganza. Let me let me try and guess what volume we're gonna play at. Let's play it on this one. Revival against Gamers 2. NA League Play Week 1 from RLCS Season 2. Oh, the volume is really low. Should be fixed now.
Thank you, Axel Toss and Carpet. It looked like Kronovi didn't have a chair there. So how do you think that's going to affect his gameplay?
Honestly, it's going to mess with his posture. You got to be careful, you know, especially as someone also that sits in front of a computer all day.
Yeah, but you sit in a chair.
Oh. Oh, Tinebriss, thank you for the resub, dude. 2 months in a row.
Everyone.
I appreciate that. Hello to you. Hello, everybody. Still low?
But no one ever expects it. It's
I'll turn it up a little.
In all seriousness, G2, they
How's
are
that?
the world champions from Season 1, but they have a history of struggling online.
But what JamesBot was referring to there is that Kronovi didn't have a chair because Kronovi and Overzero just moved into a team house together in Texas and they had just arrived and they had to play the RLCS group stage week 1 like within a couple of days of arriving. So he didn't have a chair. He had to pull his desk up to his bed and he's sitting on his bed.
Wake up, you know, Kronovi's one of those guys. He was the top striker for them last week. Surprise, surprise. He's one of those guys that can make. He can turn almost anything into a shot on goal.
Skip the cast. This is only a 28-minute thing, so it's not going to take too long. Don't worry.
This could be a battle.
Yeah, because they're going to have to finish top 4 through
The G2 house tour. Rizzo, that's a good idea actually. Let me get that.
This is going to be game number 1. We have
I'll do that at the end. I'll do the G2 house tour review.
G2 Esports. So, game number 1 here. Kronovi
He didn't get a chair in a week. Well, it was like a couple of days, dude.
No, he leaves it for Overzero, who is rocking the Batmobile. Something that he made
Nice review.
in the first international live final.
Overzero did kind of.
And this ball is gonna go up the wall.
It's all Cux's fault that the Batmobile became famous though, because Overzero ran into Cuxer in a 2v2 game online, and Cux was playing the Batmobile, and Overzero was like, I need to play the Batmobile. This is so cool. Cux's touches, man. Feels good, man. What the? Oh, the 50-50s! Did Genocop just save that? Wait a minute. What just happened? Look at these 50-50s though. 1, 2. That's a good save by Overzero, to be fair. That's like the moment to go in player cam if there ever is one, by the way. And then... Okay, it might have been saved, but Genocop just saved Chrome's shot. I'm not sure if Lachino would have saved it. Probably would have.
Sid trying to get the ball, and now it's a counterattack opportunity to Lachino with the shot attempt, but
Lachino beans the shot, but it's alright, Kronovi.
To put it in despite all the mayhem.
Carp's just laughing. I love it.
And then Lachino did his best. He actually
That's like kind of, I do that when I'm casting. I'll just like start laughing at stupid plays that have happened.
And then Kronovi being able to place that above all the defenders. I did also make a comment.
You need Gambit and Gibbs before it's a G2 house. Well, Gibbs is no longer affiliated with G2. In fact, he never was. So it would have to be Lachino and Gambit, I think is what you mean. And Squishy Muffins, of course, the substitute. Why don't you have a viewer Discord where we can chat to you? I do. I do have one.
On their back now. But here, 1 minute into game number 1, they've got a 1-goal lead, but Sid almost getting the equalizer there.
Anyway, like this game was actually huge. This game was huge for G2. They really needed to win this one, in my opinion. Because a lot of people have been thinking that G2 are going to struggle, myself included. I'm not even sure if they're going to make playoffs at their current run of form. I think they'll barely squeak in, with probably 3 series wins by the end of the groups. But man, they really needed to beat Revival. Revival did not look good in qualification. Revival, that is Hot Wheels Sid, Chrome, and Genocop. Of course, Hot Wheels Sid and Genocop have been teammates before on Faster Than Light, aka Failure to Launch. and then they became Orbit. Nearly had a top 4 finish in the first. No, actually, they fell to pieces, didn't they? Okay, what happened with this team is Genocop and Hot Wheels said they used to be teamed up with Zane Jackie, who now plays for Take 3. And they qualified for the very first RLCS group stage in Season 1. And then Genocop had some personal issues and he quit. He quit the team. So they were pretty screwed. They had to get Stev to come in and they didn't do very well in group stage. That was the end of that team. Hot Wheels Sid, Genocop and Zane Jackie. They're a very promising team. It's a shame to see that go wrong. But now Hot Wheels Sid and Genocop are back together, this time with Chrome, because Zane Jackie has joined up with Rizzo and Insolences. And they, you know, Zane Jackie's now on a very good team with Rizzo and Insolences. It's a decent play coming out from Revival. But apart from Genocop winning a 50-50, they didn't really have to do anything. It was just a bad wall hit right here from Lachinio. Could he have done this better? Yeah, Lachinio's just kind of out of position here. I don't know why he drove forward so far, because by driving forward so far he has to like go straight up the wall to even make contact with this ball. And then all he can do is hit it into the ceiling. I've got a feeling that he could have hit that another way, but he mishit it slightly, just given by the trajectory of the ball here. Looks like Lachinio jumped straight up into it. So misplay from Lachinio, 50-50 from Genocop, and Hot Wheels Sid beats out the defender. Yeah, Overzero's still like recovering here, and his line of recovery is not great because he's going straight back at the net. So I wouldn't usually recommend that. Driving straight back at the net is kind of asking for trouble. Anytime that the ball falls in front of the goal or above the goal, you're in a really awkward position. He probably would have been better taking a slightly wider line. It's tough for Overzero though. That's tough for Overzero, to be fair.
Decision you have to try and make, but if he wasn't net, to be honest, that would have been difficult anyways because he would have been too far to try and reach that ball.
Poor rebound on that 50-50, not working out for G2 and Revival.
Oh no. Oh, Lachinio. That's not good.
Goals, I'm telling you, they are a threat to everyone. Genocop putting that up so high. Lachinio,
I really don't like this kickoff strategy though. I really don't like this kickoff strategy. Let's back it up and see what happened. So, pretty standard kickoff is the double 50, or just the, you know, both players trying to kill the ball. Chronovia and Chrome are doing the exact same thing here. They're both trying to go directly opposite each other to make sure the ball stays in the middle. And Genocop and Overzero are doing really, really fast cheating, so they're getting here incredibly quickly. But that means that if the ball pops up high, if Overzero doesn't react in time, it's going to go over his head. So cheating up a little bit more slowly, even if Overzero was like here, he would have been able to jump up for this ball. But as we see, Spacebar does not play the video sometimes. You see that Overzero just doesn't jump up in time, and now Genocop has the ball for free. Chronovia and Overzero are both out of the game with the one kickoff. It's very risky to do close cheats. It's very risky. I don't like it at all because this can happen. You could just take yourself, the kickoff guy, Chronovi, and Overzero, who's cheating. They're now both out of the game. Chronovi has 0 boost. Overzero's got like 30 boost. When he jumps up and misses this, he's gonna have even less boost because he'll have to boost back down to the ground again. Press K instead of spacebar. Yeah, I know. I'm just lazy. So alternatively, Overzero should just not jump here, because if he doesn't jump and he just drives in a circle, sure, Genocop's going to get a shot on net. Lachinio will save any shot directly on net, I would hope. And then Overzero can come swoop in and help him. So he should just drive in a circle here and exit screen left instead of jumping. But Genocop does it really well. He shoots deliberately too high. Genocop's deliberately hitting the crossbar there, just so that Chrome can follow up. Lachinio kind of, he does something, you can spot it very, very briefly. Let's see if we can spot it on this camera. I don't think we will. Okay, right there. Lachinio's in front of the goal line. So notice what he does. He reverses back and then tries to go up, just making it that little bit more difficult to get up. accurately.
Goals, I'm telling you, they are a threat to
And you can see here, look how far off the goal line Lachinio was. It's very subtle, but what he's trying to do is he wants to get into the play. His brain is telling him, drive forward, get into the play as soon as possible. You need to be relevant. So he drives forward just a tiny little bit. Is that, a couple of car lengths really helping him get into the play sooner? Marginally, maybe, but it's not going to be that influential. What is going to be influential is now he has to reverse back and then jump up high, which makes it just that little bit more difficult to go up for this aerial.
Putting that up so high, Lachinio not having the boost.
You see, if Lachinio didn't drive forward there, he could have maybe even jumped, just gone straight up in the air and saved this ball to the side. Like, he could have just, jumped up early, and then before the ball hits the crossbar, hit it straight sideways. He knows that it's not going in, but you shouldn't be letting the ball hit your backboard if you can stop it, because when it hits the backboard, it falls down awkwardly like this. And if you think about what kind of save is Lachinio getting here, if he does get one, probably not a very good one. Like, look at this save, if Lachinio does hit the ball. See that? He would have hit the ball on this side, it would have fallen down here, and then if the goalkeeper from, I think it's Hot Wheels Sid, from Revival came in, he could have a shot. So this is not ideal either. It's much better if Lachinio can just get straight up, intercept that. I feel like that always happens to me whenever I'm playing 2v2. I'm so disciplined. I stay like way back on kickoff, all the way behind the kick, like just behind the kickoff, or not the kickoff, the goal line. And then the one time that I go just inch up just a little bit, just that tiny little bit, I'm like, I'm just going to go a little bit closer so that I'm more likely to win the 50-50 or the race to the ball that happens afterwards. And bam, that's the one time that the kickoff goes straight over my teammate and hits the ceiling and comes down on my head, and I'm like, I regret this. That's a good dunk by Crow.
Why was Kronovi here? We see a beautiful touch from Lachinio passing it back, and then Kronovi's like, yeah, Genocop's just gonna hit it right here. He even has
It is pretty nuts, actually.
Trying to deny the backboard chance. Does clear it off into the side, but
It's a great pass by Overzero to start things off. Genocop overly rotating. He just drives forward a little bit too far. He would much rather be here right now, not in the middle of the goal.
Long time overdue donation. Been watching for months. Especially on YouTube, and have massively improved in 1v1s because of you.
Oh, dude.
Keep up the good work. I think what you do is great for the Rocket League community.
Oh, you're too kind, man. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the £10. And I'm so glad to hear that you've improved your 1v1 game. Anyway, yeah. Like I was saying, Genocop would rather be here rather than here, because again, reversing in Rocket League is not ideal. I think he probably could have done a half flip save here to more effect than just a pop.
Why was Kronovi here? We see a beautiful touch from Lachinio.
Yeah, see that Genocop just gets outplayed by Overzero kind of, and Lachinio. Because he starts driving forward because the ball was moving over this way when Overzero hit it, then Lachinio sticks it straight back in the opposite direction. Great hit by Lachinio to put it behind Genocop. And then Genocop tries to pop it and then flick it, but Kronovi's is too fast. Gets the block on the clear.
He even had to alter his trajectory as he's going for that, because Genocop actually hit it more to the right than he expected. By Kronovi, just showing he knows how this ball bounces obscenely well.
What are my feelings about the Lethamyr situation? We need to see the roster play with Karma before we can make a educated opinion. Initially it seems surprising.
Sid actually passes that out for Chrome, a dangerous spot, but Lachinio's still able to get the defensive stop. Now Gino with the set. Kronovi.
But I've said on my stream and I've said on other streams before that I think Lethamyr was the weak link on Vendetta, but partly because Darkfire and Torment are so good. Where did Lachinio come from here? See, I wish, like, why are we on this camera? Come on! What is this camera work, man? I don't need to see this. Do we really need to see Kronovi here? That's fine. And then, at this point, get the camera off Kronovi. He's looking for boost, doesn't find it. He's driving around the backfield, and we don't get to see this play properly.
Now, Overzero getting beat by Sid, but Lachinio's up in the air, and Overzero as well.
So Lachinio's going for a double touch. I'd much rather see that.
Well, and somehow
Nearly got it.
keeping the pressure on, and still just mayhem.
This is what I mean by G2.
Yeah, I think Lethamyr is probably a better individual player than Karma, but it's not all about individual skill. Maybe she blends in better with the team in either playstyle, or could be a comfort thing. Maybe they're just like, they feel better.
Things because it seems impossible. But players like Lachinio and Kronovi just prove to us what actually is possible. And now they're going to try to get that.
Like, it's not all about individual skill. Like, Overzero replaced Gambit on IBP, and Gambit was one of the best, if not the best, player in North America. Overzero was not in the discussion for best player in America, but IBP improved.
Puts in the go-ahead goal.
This is one of the hardest bounces to read. It came off. He didn't know if it was going to hit down, bounce out, or just roll on
That's
the ground.
some bad camera work again. It's kind of like the replay cam though, so replay auto cam is not showing us the key thing here, which is actually Lachinio missed the ball.
Usually he's pretty good at predicting those, but from the angle,
the side of the wall, the side.
I've got a feeling that the mistake happened earlier. Is Lachinio backwards here? Why is he backwards?
Pinches that off.
So that should be a half flip, not a back flip. Oh, sorry, I just punched the microphone. That should be a half flip from Lachinio. He should now be facing forwards.
The side of the wall.
And if he was, he would have a much easier time controlling this ball. Like popping, he would probably, if he was forwards, he would just chip it up and into the air, drive up the wall, and clear it to the side. Like, you would just chip it, the ball would go up here, and then he would, you know, drive up the wall and meet it somewhere around about here, and just like either, you know, try and touch it. Like, one thing you can do, and some players are very good at this, is they'll meet the ball at this wall here, and they'll touch it over to this wall, and then they'll just drive their car around the curve and meet it again over here, and then go for a second clear, like downfield from this position. So Lachinio could have gone for multiple touches if he was facing forwards, but he's backwards. Just completely beans it. So just a small misplay, not half flipping.
this is one of the hardest bounces to read. It came off. He didn't know if it was going to hit down, bounce out, or just roll
It's
on the ground.
I like Carpet's trying to.
Usually he's pretty good at predicting those, but from the
He's trying to find a reason that Lachinio missed, but really it's just a failure for Lachinio to half flip. He was backwards. That was the real problem there, not the bounce.
It was not the easiest shot, but it wasn't terribly difficult, but he was able to still put it on target.
That is just driving backwards.
Drawing straight lines still difficult? Mate, it's hard. I don't have a tablet. I've got to draw it with my mouse.
Not able to get the stop. Wind down in the final seconds, and Chrome is going to put one extra in just for.
And you know, this goal
This is actually
doesn't
really good
matter
defense
that
from
much
the end.
because of the score, but this is something we see a lot from IBP. Look at this. Two players driving forward, they've both come out of the net. Like, we saw Lachinio drive from this position over here, Overzero from just behind him over to this position. This happens a lot for IBP, where you'll have multiple people driving out the net simultaneously.
2 goals up on the champions.
Which, you know, you could make the argument that they want to get a goal because they're losing anyway, but does driving out super close to each other actually increase your chances of getting a goal? Like, we can see it happening. You see Lachinio, he's so worried about getting back to net here. This is also a misplay in my opinion. Like, watch this play develop. I'm gonna rewind it even further, in fact, because this is the moment where Revival get the pressure. You've got to look at where did the pressure start, and this is where they get it. Interception by Genocop on Kronovi's aerial. Genocop sticks it into the corner and then dunks on Lachinio. So this could have gone better. Obviously, Lachinio could have played this a little bit better. He wanted the boost and the ball, but he didn't take the best line possible. Would have been better if he, you know, hit the boost on this side and then forced the ball like underneath Genocop, but instead he went for a wider line and tried to chip the ball infield. Like, here's his line of Lachinio, and he's trying to hit the ball this way. But that's straight into Genocop. It would have been better if he, you know, just got on this side of the ball here, like right there, and then tried to force the ball under Gino, who is flying. So it would have worked.
Just driving backwards a lot of times does not.
And then Overzero comes in with a pointless hit. This doesn't need to happen. This isn't pressured.
Not work out.
So he ends up just passing the ball to Chrome. There's a lot going wrong here. Firstly, Lachinio's, Kronovi gets his shot intercepted. Lachinio prioritizing boost a little bit too much, doesn't get on the right side of the ball, gets dunked on.
So hard.
Over zero with a pointless hit. And now this is where the rotation starts to break down. But I'll bear in mind that there are 10 seconds left. They know that they need a goal, so they need a big clear here. They need a big clear.
To maintain control over your vehicle.
So over zero, not a terrible decision. After he passes the ball to Chrome, Chrome passes it straight back. They're just, really, really lovely to each other. And he does get a decent block on Hot Wheels Sid's shot. This is actually really risky to do in a Batmobile. The Batmobile is so low profile that over zero not jumping there, or jumping as late as he did, rather, very risky. This could have just gone straight in, because Hot Wheels Sid's hitbox was way better.
Lachinio, not able.
But then right here, this is the part I want to highlight.
That is just driving backwards. A lot of times does not work out. It's so
I look at Lachinio for this play. He never stays behind over zero. He kind of just cuts in front.
to maintain control over your vehicle.
Like Lachinio's thinking, if I get around this side of the ball and pinch it with over zero or something, maybe that would have been an okay play, but he doesn't go for the pinch. He's actually just going for the goal.
And you see
Just leaves over zero. I don't know if he was called off that. That's probably what happened, is Lachinio was going to come in and clear the ball into the corner, and over zero says, nah, it's okay, I've got it. So Lachinio leaves it for him.
there.
And then at this point, like, one of over zero and Lachinio just has to not drive out of the corner here. Like, stay where they are, because think of what could happen. Like, they've got 7 seconds. They need a goal. What could happen? The ball could bounce high in the midfield. Do you need multiple people in the corner to deal with a ball that's bouncing high in the midfield? No, you don't. In fact, you hardly ever need multiple people in the corner like this. Kronovi's trying to get a knock on here. Lachinio, or over zero and Hot Wheels Sid, 50-50 the ball, and it's bouncing this way. Kronovi's trying to pop it high up the wall, probably, maybe follow it. And over zero, Lachinio are trying to both follow up on Kronovi's hit. They're both right here following up on Kronovi's hit, which is not necessary. One of them should be sitting more deep in the box like this. Doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter who. One of them just has to stay back here, so that there's more, so that they're more spread out. Like, being this close to each other is not good. It's okay to have, like, Kronovi's going for a knock on here. It's probably a small one. Like, if Kronovi touches this ball, it's probably not going very far. He'll either like pop it off this wall, then it'll bounce middle, or he might go for a pinch that could, fly straight up the wall and then bounce off the ceiling into this area. That's why you need somebody over here. You don't need 2 people. It's the essence of it.
to get the stop as we
Yeah, so
wind
Kronovi is
down
going
to
for a
the
small
final
pop.
seconds, and Chrome
Both
is gonna
latching
put
over zero in
one
the same
extra
place.
in just for a little bit of insurance.
This is actually a really
The only
good
reason
play
I
for
highlight
the,
it though is not
special
just for
issue
this one
revival.
situation.
They are now 2 goals up
It's
on the
this is an IBP
champions
problem.
of the RLCS. They are about to take game 1, putting themselves in a pretty place, continuing on in the series.
And this really is a game that if G2 hopes to make top 4 in NA, they need to win. A lot of people are thinking revival.
Like, I see all 3 of them doing it. Kronovi over zero, Lachinio. I see all 3 of them do that.
So, a
Where,
very big win for
you know,
Revival. Here
player
is
A. We're just gonna say player A, B, and C here because it doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter who it is. Sorry, so I keep calling them IBP. It's gamers too. Same thing. It's the same thing. You guys know what I mean. But the point is, player A for G2 will be in their defensive corner going for a 50-50. Player B will be close by in case the ball spills loose and he wants to be first on the scene. Player C should be like back post to deal with anything that goes high, but instead he's usually in roughly the same position as player B is. Like player B and C in any of my hypothetical situations are the players who are following up on the play. Player A is the player who's making a play on the ball. Player B should be following up on that play. Player C should be waiting to see what happens and then make his decision of what to do. Generally. Of course, it's always situational. The problem for gamers too is that they don't have a player C. They don't have someone who's waiting back to look at what happens and then move into a position to deal with it. They don't have somebody planning what to do if it all goes wrong. If the other team win the 50-50, they don't have somebody ready for that. They're only thinking, what is the plan of player A how can I help that plan work? But you gotta remember that there's two teams on the pitch. It's not just your team. You can't just play your game. You have to try and stop the other team from playing their game as well.
To taking out the world champions. Now shot in from Kronovi's going to go wide.
But until Gamers 2 actually get good play from player C, someone who can follow up, or someone who can counter what the other team are trying to do, they're going to struggle. Kronovi and Genocop just demoed each other. One thing I would like to know, actually, just based on what Carpet just said, he said that, is this going to be an open net? Whenever I'm doing color commentary, whenever I'm doing color commentary, that's what Findable Carpet is doing right now. I've got my own computer, obviously, so I get to do my own spectating. What I like to do is zoom all the way out and look at everything that's happening, because you don't need to see the up and close and personal stuff unless there's a replay happening. Then you can go to a player cam and see what actually happened. If there's like a 1v1 outplay and you want to analyze what move they did, generally in 3v3 you don't need to see the up and the really close zoomed in stuff for color casting. You just need to see everything so you can see the full game. All of the players who are, you know, let's say right now we can see 4 players in the screen. In classic NA style, lots of players in the same place. I'm just kidding. And then Genocop shadowing. But there's also there's 2 more players in the pitch. What are they doing? Is one of them off screen, down here, missing the boost or something? That's really important. We might not see that. Are there 2 players down here, one for each team, and they're both bumping each other, like they're both just, you know, going like that? If that was happening, I'd want to know, as the color caster, if you know, like where they're just driving into each other and kissing. If there's 2 players driving into each other, turning the 3v3 into a 2v2, you've got to know that if you're color casting, and you can't do that from AutoCam. You need to zoom further out. So we would need to take the free like moving camera, whatever you call it. I don't know what it's called. And you focus on nothing, and then you just zoom it all the way out, and you get a panoramic view of the whole pitch, and then you can zoom it, you know, we can drive that camera down the pitch to the other end if the play's at that end, and then we can, you know, take it back if the play's in the blue end. What is color casting? Color commentary. I'll look up our proper definition while we're at it. Color commentary. This is color commentary. A color commentator is a North American term for a sports commentator who assists the main commentator, often by filling in any time when play is not in progress. So when does that happen in Rocket League? Well, it happens when there's a replay of a goal. The color commentator will always be speaking, or usually be speaking. Or, you know, it happens when the game slows down a little bit, or it isn't very meaningful because it's 5-0 and there's 10 seconds left. The color commentator will probably be speaking, talking about the story of the tournament and, you know, the games that are coming up after this. Things that are relevant. So color commentating is not play-by-play. It's the other guy. In this cast, James Bott's doing the play-by-play, and Findable Carpet's doing the color commentator. Color commentary. I'm usually the color commentator when I'm doing commentary.
Back to get that, but that was a chance for them. That over 0 just came up very short.
Yeah, the point I was getting at was that Carpet said that he didn't know if there was a goalkeeper, so I don't know if he's allowed to. I don't know if he's allowed to use his own computer for spectating, or if RLCS just give them a screen and they watch it. Because if that's the case, I would actually be really annoyed. If I had to do color commentary and I wasn't able to control the camera, I would feel like that would hinder my performance. So, yeah, that's something I want to find out, actually. I don't know if any of the RLCS guys are in chat, but do the color commentators do they get a mouse and keyboard? Are they allowed to control the camera? If not, then feels bad, man. Because AutoCam sucks for color commentary. My commentary is way more different than that of Carpet's. Do you mean like the commentary that I do on my stream is not the same style as Findable Carpet? What do you mean by that? What I do on my stream is not the same as my casting in tournaments. If you want to see what my casting's like in a tournament, then follow this thread. Go to that Reddit thread if you want to get some links to hear what my commentary is like in tournaments. It's not the same as my commentary on stream, which is a lot more chilled out.
But Kronovi does a good job.
It's a good half volley clear on the wall.
Kronovi dropping back. He
By
does not
Kuro.
want to let anything go untouched. He's not letting it hit off the back wall at all. And you mentioned it a few times. It's looking like Revival is taking the slow game here.
Oh dear.
Slowing it down. They're trying to suck
What was over zero going for here? I don't get this at all.
She's not letting it hit off the back.
It's another good half volley clear.
You mentioned it a few times. It's looking like
Okay, so over zero expects Geno Cup to hit this forward, I guess, into the air.
Revival is taking
But Geno Cup just goes under.
the slow game here. They're slowing it down. They're trying to suck.
It's a good play by Geno.
Win the 50-50s and hopefully take a counterattack advantage.
And then a counterattack there, Sid. Putting that one high, but
I'm in the middle of color and play-by-play. Well, when I'm casting on my stream, I'm the only caster, so I have to do both. So I try and do both. I try and find the balance. But when you're doing commentary at live events, and I've only done one, so this is very, I have very little experience in this regard. But when I did commentary at Insomnia Birmingham, I tried my best to synergize well with my co-commentators, make them sound good, because when you're commentating solo, your only job is to make what you're saying sound as good as possible. But when you're commentating with a co-commentator, or multiple co-commentators, you've got to try and make them sound good too. It's your job to make the casting squad as a whole sound good. Synergy. And some casters are way better at that than others. Like, I've done a lot of online casting with different people, and some casters are really, really good at just knowing when to speak, when to shut up, what to say, what not to say, when to be jokey, when to be serious. Like, some casters are just really good at knowing when to do certain things, and other casters just ruin the flow completely. I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, I just don't know what this is supposed to sound like. Oh, that would have been so sick. Kronovi was up so early for that. I almost expected him to look really silly. Like, when he went up for this, I was thinking, like, right there, that's so close to hitting off the curve and going straight down. And then Kronovi would have flown way over it, but it actually just comes straight back. It's crazy. It missed the curve barely. The curve ends like right here, and the ball hit here.
Pass is going to put it off the backboard yet again, and no one from G2 was there to follow.
Trixari, 3-month resub. Boy, hello to you. Thank you for the continued support, my friend. Welcome back. Curtis is probably your favorite caster. Curtis is really good. I like Curtis. I've never casted with him, but I've listened to some of his casting. I was very impressed. He noticed one thing that I won't say what it is, but there was one thing in one of the casts that he did that he noticed it, and I was like, spot on, my friend. I can't tell you what it is because it would betray a team's trust, because I know it's a strategy of theirs. But yeah, Curtis, he spotted something that I thought only I would notice, but he actually noticed it as well. I was like, well played. I didn't think anybody else but me would notice that. Because I tried to be that guy, the guy who just knows something that no one else knows. But Curtis, he's smart. Say it? No, I'm not gonna say it. You can't know. It's a secret. Yeah, Curtis is smart. He's a good commentator, from what I've seen. I've not seen that much of his commentary, though. And I've never casted with him. Maybe he's got terrible synergy. Maybe I'll cast with him and I'll be like, my goodness, this guy's got awful synergy. But no, I can't comment. I've never commentated with him. Only the great Johnny could ever notice. Exactly. It sounds really like really full of myself, but genuinely I was surprised. I was like, wow, okay. Didn't think he would notice that. It's impressive. Just because 3v3 casting in Rocket League is always just the same stuff that people bring up. Like, every cast, I feel, is just like the same stuff being brought up by the casters. So this might sound bad, but I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, because I'm always just pretty open and honest with you. Like, I don't listen to much Rocket League casting. I'll watch the stream, but I just mute it or have it on really quietly, and I'll be doing something else at the same time, like listening to music or playing a game or just doing something else. So I'm not one for listening to casting much unless I really, really like the casting. Like, I feel like it's really interesting and adding something to the experience.
already down one game in the series.
And I feel like a lot of Rocket League commentators are just so samey. Like every time they open their mouth, I'm like, oh.
Such a powerful, or potentially powerful
Ooh,
squad.
rotation.
They've
Well
also not shown
spotted.
a whole lot of power.
Great word.
Did see a reverse sweep.
I hate buzzwords. I like when people bring up something new. They actually say something. I'm like, yeah, thank you for pointing that out, caster. I didn't see that. Or, you know. That's why, you know, the color caster's got a great opportunity. He can just not use autocam and see things that autocam literally doesn't see, and then tell people, and then people are like, oh man, I didn't know that because I literally couldn't see it because autocam didn't see it. And that is my eyes in the game. But it doesn't happen very often, so it's refreshing. Oh, okay. Double whiff coming in. Did I watch many Rocket League streams? Yeah, I watched a lot of Rocket League streams. Oh, Kronovi, what happened? That shot should have just been a goal. Kronovi should have saved this. But neither of those things happened, so I guess they balance out, and we have the goal that we were supposed to have.
Chrome had a fully open shot. He tried to take it wide, but he got there just a little bit too late.
What went wrong though? Why is there this massively open shot in the midfield? This is really bad.
Chrome getting shut down by Lachinio. Genocop trying to keep it in the orange half.
Like, this is so bad. Gino and Hot Wheels said both go for the ball, and their team comes out on top. What? What do I think about James Watt's casting? He's one of the best. One of the best.
Sid with a big block. This is a chance.
Where on earth are gamers too? What?
Chrome just needs to put it on net, and he's
Like Lachinio and Kronovi are just on holiday somewhere.
put it off the.
Where did they go?
G2 is looking like they and then Vendetta.
Right, there's Kronovi.
But I don't know if G2 is looking.
He's off on his he just leaves. What?
And then Vendetta versus Deception.
Kronovi, where are you going?
But I don't know if
Okay, so he tries to bump Genocop and misses completely, and then he just leaves. He's like, see ya. He's just gone. Kronovi, where have you gone? Your team needs you.
like they would be able to.
And there's Lachinio and Over Zero, both going for the same ball now. Lachinio's. No, Kronovi's back. I'm just kidding. He's back. Don't worry. Lachinio's gone. Lachinio's still gone. No, he's back. Okay. Just like really, they're taking themselves out of the game so far. It's crazy. It's so risky to do things like that. Just to drive away like this. Like, what if your team needs you in the next 3 seconds and you're just like, nah, see ya. Could be back just so much sooner, and also the line of return is just not wide enough by Kronovi. This isn't enough. Yeah, they cheat up a lot. They sure do. They sure do. I really feel like Kronovi, his line from like this position, he went like all the way off the screen here, and then he comes back on like this. It should look a bit more like, you know, this. This should be his line. Back to defense. Not on the wall. Sorry, I missed. That's just because I can't draw straight. That's just because I can't draw straight. It should look like either like it depends. Is the mid boost up on the right hand side? If so, maybe you can go for it, but maybe not even. Like, it might be worth just going like this instead, like grabbing these boosts and then coming back into the goal via here, because at least then you've got some boost and you're going to get back quicker. But if that boost is up over here, most of the time people are going to grab it. It depends whether it's up or not. But in short, like, you should be coming back quicker. You should be looking to recover quicker, not going for a demo, which is kind of pointless. And then you should be coming back like this line over here, like wide. Oh my goodness, I just can't draw straight. I'm just going to draw like a point of, like, he should be returning to the box here. There we go, just a dot, okay? Yeah, he should be here, not here. Because this is just creating a traffic jam. That's just creating a traffic jam, which is not what we need if we're Gamers 2 fans. It's just like small things, like lines of rotation. They're always too sharp for IBP, for Gamers 2. And when I say like rotation, I mean when you rotate, this is what rotation means. And if I hear people doing it or using it the wrong way in Rocket League, it triggers me a little. Rotation in Rocket League is trying to fill a gap. So your team, you form a unit, and you've got to find the gap that your team have left open for you and fill it in. Sometimes that means driving in a small circle. Like, let's say that you've got a teammate here and he's got the ball, and your other teammate is respawning from being demoed over here, and you're like somewhere like here. Okay, you're just in the midfield. You've just done a 50-50 and recovered slightly, and you know your teammate's coming in for another 50-50. If your third teammate is all the way back here, obviously you just rotate in to follow up on this guy. In my earlier analogy, this is player A making a play on the ball. You're player B, you're looking to follow up, and that's player C over here. Notice, like, you might have, made a play on the ball right before this guy did, and you've just gone straight back into the play. Nothing wrong with that. Some people say, oh, that's, breaking rotation. You player A hit the ball, then player B, now player A is hitting it again. But that's not necessarily wrong. All you're doing is filling in a gap. He's not getting in the way of player C at the back here. Alternatively, let's say that player C is not getting demoed. Player B's just made a play on the ball and he's coming back around like this and he finds himself in the midfield, same position as before, but instead of having your third teammate at the back recovering from getting demoed, your third teammate is actually here and he's looking to follow up on the play. He's in the position that you would have gone into if it was vacated, but this time it isn't vacated. So instead of like looking to do that, like last time I said this player should do this, follow up on the play. Now it's his job to try and find a gap. The gap is like, it's way more deep now. You see, like we've already got the pressure in the ball is covered, following up on the play is covered. You've got to think now, okay, what could go wrong? Well, the opponent could come in and hit the ball really, really well and it could go over here. So I need to get ready, to get back and deal with the potential threat. So that's like rotation, it's just filling a gap. It doesn't necessarily mean that player A, then B, then C, then A, then B, then C hits the ball. Some people think they've got this wrong idea that rotation means the order that your team are hitting the ball in. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. It just means filling in the gap. Wherever the gap is where you want to go.
But Revival looking to come out and get their first series win.
Like right there, Overzero could have followed up on this ball, but he found himself a little bit close to Kronovi, and he turned around.
G2 is looking like they would be able, and the Vendetta versus Deception game. But I don't know if G2 is looking like they would be able to perform well in that situation.
Man.
We did see a reverse sweep.
So what?
The Vendetta versus.
Yeah, see, Lachinio's now player C that we just mentioned. Kronovi's trying to make a play on the ball. Overzero's following up on it. But the ball now goes over onto the wall. So this should be Lachinio's ball to cover. Unfortunately for Lachinio, he's in the net, so he can't go up the wall to contest this. Overzero should just leave this for Lachinio at this point. Because Overzero was following, he was in the position to follow up on Kronovi's play. And the Kronovi got taken out of the game. That means that now it's Lachinio's ball, and Overzero should follow up on Lachinio. But they both go up. Overzero takes himself out of the game. Then he sheeps Kronovi into the corner. So this is Overzero again, putting himself a little bit out of position. Just before the camera went to Kronovi, we saw Overzero driving forward. Now he's turned around. If he had just stayed in net, he would have been able to come forward at this ball. But no, he can't because he's shadowing.
Here in the RLCS.
So he gets taken out of the game again. This is a pretty bad play by Overzero for this whole segment. But it's okay. Lachinio gets not the best clear, but he gets something.
Shut down by Lachinio. Genocop trying to keep it in the orange half.
Now Overzero should have the opportunity to take two people out of the game, and I don't know where Kronovi is after this. So there's a lot of misplays by Overzero, but he gets away with it because poor capitalization from Revival, and then Lachinio getting a nice dunk off after coming off the wall. But I don't know where Kronovi is for this whole segment. I really wish that we had a better camera view. We have to go back until we see Kronovi. So we see him here. Okay, so Kronovi is somewhere on the other side of the pitch right now. That's all we know. He was over here, now he's gone. So he must have oh no, here he is. Actually, he's blended in with the wall perfectly. Wow. I didn't even see him. Did you guys see that? Watch this. He's like a chameleon. Look at that. He's like blended in perfectly. There he is. There's Kronovi. Okay, goes up the wall, but Lachinio's got it covered. Okay, now Kronovi's darting forward at the ball. I think that touch just took Kronovi out of the game. But even still, man, that's a long time to be out of the game for Kronovi. The whole point that of rewinding here was to find out why is this shot open, because what I saw this happened. Like, Genocop makes this touch, then he turns around and goes straight back for it, and I saw this, I was like, oh man, that's great for G2. Like, a pretty even 50-50, and Geno Cup and Hot Wheels Sid are both out the game, usually that means counterattack, right? But Kronovi was nowhere to be seen. I was like, wait, what? And then he comes in and I was like, how is he so late? Like, that was actually an open goal. That should have been a goal for Chrome. Because Kronovi went, wait, I think Kronovi double jump challenged or something. Like right here. Oh, it's so hard to see, but if you look right here, we see Kronovi boosting forward. He's boosting forward at this ball, and I think he goes for a double jump challenge or something. And lands like miles into their half, which is a big misplay. And Lachinio's on a bad recovery as well. Like, why is Lachinio going over here? Like right there, Lachinio goes for mid boost. Which is... that's fine, honestly. But if he goes farther than that, then that's not fine. Okay, he flipped onto mid boost. I've got a feeling that both Kronovi and Lachinio were both looking for a pass from over zero here. That's pure. Because there's no way that they took that long to recover. There's no way that they should take that long to recover. It's just so risky, I don't get it. Like, why is it so risky?
Chrome had a fully open shot. He tried to take it wide, but he got there just a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so Lachinio's shooting up and expecting Kuro to get a hit forward. Geno got that light touch. Yeah, I think you're right. Lachinio is... well, what he's doing is he's getting mid boost, which is fine. Getting mid boost when your team's under pressure is fine. Could I slow down the speed of the video sometimes? Maybe, we'll see. It's okay to go get mid boost. If both of your teammates are behind you, it's especially okay. Kronovi and Over Zero were both in the game. They were both relevant in the game when Lachinio went for that mid boost grab. So I don't hate that at all. But then Kronovi went for a super risky block, I guess, on Geno's hit, or he just got taken out of the game by Geno. I'm trying to like put this together. It doesn't really make sense.
Rescue Chrome from potential horrendous embarrassment, and now G2 in a dreadful place.
You know what? I'm going to actually, Chrome, he is a very patient player, so he would go for the slow play off the post. That could have been intentional.
How many series does G2 need to win to go to the LAN? On paper, 3. Because you only need to win 2 series in groups to get top 6. Assuming that there's no ties. Let's say that the group stage goes 7 wins, 6 and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like perfect order of wins, which it probably won't. Then 2 wins would get you into the playoffs, and then from playoffs you just need to win 1 series to make the LAN, I believe. So you can make the LAN with winning 3 series and losing 6 on paper, unless I'm mistaken.
Now you've sucked out a defender and passed the ball perfectly in front of the net.
I think G2's biggest issue is they don't tend to count how many teammates they've got behind them when they're going for these risky plays.
I don't know.
Like when I'd say it's okay for Lachinio to go for mid boost when both Kronovi and Overzero are behind him. Let's say only Overzero is behind him. Suddenly going for that mid boost is far less viable. So Lachinio going forward, he's the farthest forward player. That's fine. Kronovi going for a double jump intercept play to try and take Geno Cup out of the game. That's again probably okay if Lachinio and Overzero are behind him, but Lachinio isn't behind him, so it's probably a misplay. And then we can't see what's happening off screen. I imagine that they both saw Overzero going for a hit, thought that he could get it, stayed up, but they should definitely not both be staying up. The fact that Lachinio and Kronovi both recover at the same time indicates that they were both following up on Overzero's play. And Overzero's the last man back. One of Kronovi and Latch should probably be covering, just in case Overzero doesn't get the win. And I think that's like the root of most of G2's problems, is they don't have someone who's thinking, wait, what'll happen if the other team get the dunk here? Wait, what'll happen if the other team get an interception here? Wait, what'll happen if the other team get a clear? They're all trying to attack. But we didn't see this at the LAN. When Gamers 2, formerly IBP, did well at the LAN, they didn't get a chance to attack like this because they were facing up against Northern Gaming and Flipside Tactics. Like, who did G2 play at the LAN? They played Flipside, got pressured like crazy. They played the Flying Dutchman in a surprise semi-finals, and they beat the Flying Dutchman because the Flying Dutchmen weren't very good.
it looked like, was that
Then they
Hot Wheels
played
Sid that
Northern
was pulling
Gaming,
the
again,
pin
got
off
pressured
the
like
corner?
crazy. Then they played Flipside, again,
That
got
ball
pressured like crazy, and they looked much better. If G2 just sit back and defend, they're a much better team than they are if they just, you know, attack. But they've got it into their heads that they're all attacking masterminds and that they need to attack because that's when they look the best and that's when they feel the best. And of course, they are all excellent attacking players, but fact of the matter is that none of them are very good at identifying threats. None of them are very good at intercepting clears. None of them are very good at maintaining pressure on the opponents because if their attack doesn't end in a goal for them, it usually ends in a goal for the other team. And that's not consistent with other top teams like Flipside, Northern Gaming. Flipside, Northern Gaming, if their attack doesn't end in a goal, it usually just ends in the other team clearing the ball and then they take it and start pressuring again.
And Revival just keeping the pressure on G2, who has been able to get.
I'm doing alright, E-Killer. How you doing, man?
This is pretty much the situation they wanted to put themselves in.
Cracked my jaw.
Early on in the game, try to put yourself in the lead, and then just don't let G2 make any plays. And they really haven't been trying any passing plays since the series has started. So if they can just keep putting pressure and making them feel like they have to do something, they're going to end up making mistakes, and they might actually be able to get a few more goals in.
Sit and wait for your opponent to make a mistake. That's what Revival's trying to do right now. As Chrome puts that up for Sid. Sid off the ceiling to Chrome. Chrome up to Gino, and Gino.
Oh, what a team
right
goal.
over Lachinio's head for the second goal.
I hate the hat though, not gonna lie.
What
What a stunning display of accidental hits from Hot Wheels Sid. This is what actually happened here. That's a great hit by Chrome. Did Hot Wheels Sid accidentally dump that straight down? And then another great play by Chrome. Chrome, really good there.
Just a stunning display of passing abilities.
The second touch.
From Hot Wheels Sid, but the pass from Chrome.
Oh man,
over to
Chrome's passing.
Gino Cobb. And Gino Cobb being there, they knew where to be, and that is exactly what we want to see out of these teams. Gino Cobb knew he needed to be far left. He knew Chrome was going to try and put that across, and he got the angle he needed, giving them just a little more passing.
That bump on Chrome. Chrome was trying to cheat forward. Got bumped out the game.
A 2-goal lead with just half the game left to go. And that passing play really must be demoralizing for G2.
Bounce? What the?
Really must be demoralizing.
What? Did that bounce at the right angle? It looked so weird. Maybe it's just autocam.
And that passing play really must.
It's probably just autocam fooling me. But that didn't look like it was supposed to bounce like this. I don't think Hot Wheels Sid expected it to bounce like that either. He gets taken out of the game. Who was Orbit's third? Zane Jackie. It was Zane Jackie. Also, one other thing that I haven't commented on yet, and I need to keep commenting on this because it triggers me. Why is Hot Wheels Sid name Hwis? Why is he just Hwis? Papa Hans Lee, thank you for the sub, dude. First time subscriber. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for the support, my man. What do you think about? What do you think about Hot Wheels Sid? Papa Hans Lee. Hot Wheels is trademarked? Yeah, but I'm sure Hot Wheels Sid isn't trademarked.
Time winding down, under 2 minutes left to go.
He has to go by Sid or Hwisse? Really? Shut up. No way. Are they trademarking Hot Wheels Sid? They're not going to let him be called Hot Wheels Sid. He should change his name. Hwisses. HWS sounds like a bookstore. It's such a bad name. It's such a bad name, man. Look at the play right here. Look at this offensive pressure from Gamers 2. The monstrous clear from Kronovi. Even more monstrous clear from Lachinio. And then look, they're all together. They're like the gang. They're like the convoy. Like, why does this happen all the time, man? Why is it that I can draw IBP in such small circles? IBP, Gamers 2 in such small circles every time that I look at one of their games. This should never happen, ever. And it happens like every game. They're like, all right, boys, let's go. let's take them all on. We're 3 times more likely to win this 50-50. We're making it a 75-25. I like those odds. I just don't get it, man. Like, why is this happening? And why are they panicking? Like, Luchino's jumped, he flicks it over the invisible defender. What are the panics about, man? Are the commentators pro players themselves or just entertainers? The commentators for RLCS are, you know, most of them have a lot of time playing the game. James Buck, Findable Carpet, and Lawler, I know all have a lot of hours. Leafex, I think he's like a legend or something, master. And then Wavepunk is probably the least game time. Okay, but yeah, what on earth, besides that, what on earth is going on here?
Lichinio trying to force that up.
And then, I just don't get it, man. Do they not see the threat coming?
Nobody for revival there.
Like, Lichinio passes the ball to Genocop, and Overzero's like, oh well, I hope he misses. Oh, he didn't miss. Damn it, backflip. And then Kronovi's right behind him as well. Guys, come on! Stop driving forward! Why are you still driving forward? Oh, man. I just don't get it, boys.
Trying to force that up. Now Overzero.
Like, Overzero right there. The first time he backflipped to intercept the ball, then he tried to do a fast aerial because he saw Hot Wheels Sid coming. He saw the bookstore HWS coming. And then he backflips by accident, feels backflip. Man, Kronovi's done a half flip. He's finally realized that he's too close and he's pieced out.
Doing 2 backflips.
My goodness.
A little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, trying a little bit too hard to make something
How to throw away the pressure that you could have had.
And another chance narrowly missed by Overzero. G2 just can't seem to put anything in the
They're just too close to each other.
Pretty.
Crow half flips when he identifies the threat. Well, Crow is too close already. That's the problem. There we go. Dunk from Overzero. Kronovi goes up for it. Perhaps more surprising is Lichinio doesn't also go up.
And Overzero got that block, which set up that shot, so G2 isn't out of it just yet.
I said I'll do a G2 video analysis.
Another goal, and that's just to force
Oh, Falcium. Thank you, dude. That's too kind of you. To be honest, this isn't the best Rocket League content. The best Rocket League content is Wrong Way Woody's karaoke streams. That's probably the best Rocket League content out there.
Shut down by Genocop. Chrome had a chance, but it wasn't able to turn around quick enough. 30 seconds.
Who's the best 3v3 player in North America at the moment? Probably Jacob. Probably Jacob.
Off the wall, it's not going to get the greatest hit. Chrome's going to have a chance. Puts that off the side of the wall. Lichinio trying to force it around the Revival defense. The final 10 seconds. Overzero.
I am going to be doing the Take 3 Gamers 2 game after this. By the way, that's so insane.
They need to put it in right now, and that might be it. The ball narrowly missed, and Overzero's going to miss that, and it might be testing Kronovi.
That would have been so funny if this went in.
5 seconds left.
Chrome's like, oh no, I've beaned it. Whoever says like, don't worry about it. Let me just smash it off our post. 3-0. And these guys just can't be bothered celebrating. They've just played 3-0 G2 and they're just like, I'm out of here. Just the rage quit coming out from Hot Wheels Sid. He's like, for crying out loud, I only got 2 epic saves. Ugh! Didn't get the savior medal. I'm out. I hate this game. And he just quits. And then Chrome's like, I'm the worst player. I'm out as well.
And it's going to be a sweep for Revival and an upset versus the defending world champions.
He's like, oh man, I'm not gonna. Chrome's like, I'm not only look at this. I can't look at this scoreboard. He knew he was going to be on the bottom. The player on the right hand side is always the one with the least points. The one in the middle always has the most. You're gonna roast Dekar? Did he do something bad? I can't wait, dude. I gotta be so savage today? What do you mean today? I'm always savage, dude. I'm incredibly blunt. This is not live? No, it's not live, it's a video, see? Shoot on the head. It's pre-recorded. Have I not watched yet? No, I've not seen you guys against G2, dude. I've not seen it.
About this series, Axel Toss, back to you.
Axel, toss yourself. Baller here. Another miniature Lawler. This time Wavepunk with the super tall chair and forced perspective closer to the screen. Poor Lawler, he's not even small.
G2 Esports didn't take a single game. Let's take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay from that matchup.
Yeah, first play coming out. They started off strong. G2 had a
Look
lot of good
how
passes and
many
pressure.
players
You know,
are
we got the
within
first one,
like
and then they play coming out.
half
They
a
started off
yard
strong
of each
with
other.
the
what is Overzero
first play coming
doing?
out. They started off
What is he doing? He's just like driving right behind Luchino. There's no way he can ever react to anything that happens here. He's so close.
Yeah, first play coming out.
Like, what is he? He's maybe wanting Luchino to pop it up, but Luchino can't even catch up to the ball.
They started off
I don't know.
G2 had a lot of good passes and the pressure.
Like, it works this time, but only because Kronovi's in the right position, not because Overzero's
Kinda
right
back and
behind
forth
him.
between the two teams, but
Gotta hit the ball,
Revival stepped
guys.
up.
Gotta follow the ball.
Really
It's
impressive
this
to watch
way.
the that they were just
Oh no, it's behind us. Rubbish.
able just to find ways to shoot it.
Oh
Guns where
no.
this was
Kronovi was in the right position in the first goal. He was following up well.
Trying to shoot, but just blocked away by Gino Cop. Their
And then
defense, they
the
did
Kronovi and
strong.
Luchino vacation ends just a moment too late.
Right, and then after
They
that
pieced
long
out,
game
and then
of
they come back
nothing, we saw
home to find
opposite
another
pressure on
goal
the
going
goal,
in.
and then the pass plays coming out
That
from
was the
Revival,
goal of
one
the
after another,
series,
after
though, from
another.
Chrome.
All players getting involved like that pass at
The
the end.
accidental double touch from Hot Wheels Sid, then Chrome, genuinely very good passing from Chrome.
Even if we're
The pass
talking
forward to Hot
about
Wheels Sid
how do you
and the
stop
pass to
Yeah, no, there was some very, very
Gino
great
were
plays
on
coming out
point from Chrome right there.
Taking it to G2 here, and we talk. There's a lot of teams in the RLCS that have this very aggressive play style. Get away from your goal.
Is there any justification to suspect that some of Gambit's tips messed with G2's team synergy in some way? Not really, I wouldn't say so. I don't think that Gambit has even. Well, no, I'm not saying I don't think he's done anything, but I don't know if he's like had any influence on their play
Yeah,
yet.
Revival coming up
I don't know if
here,
he has.
especially after a loss to
All I
Genesis.
can tell you is that
Genesis won
when
the
you're
and then they're able to
you're in a very
turn it around and get
useful
a 3-0
position
against
if you're
G2
Gambit,
Esports.
because
Certainly some sort of attempt
when
to
he
being
does,
able to come back like that.
well, he's got an opportunity basically. Gambit as the coach of G2, he's got a chance where he can give advice to the players without that ever coming from a place of it's your fault, not mine, because he's the coach. If he's a teammate and he's giving advice, sometimes that comes across as it's your fault we lost, I'm trying to flake the blame onto you. But he's in a unique position now that he's never been in before,
is phenomenal.
where he can just give advice and it's completely from a neutral perspective, which is good. He's been watching the scrims and giving tips. Okay, it's fine. Coach role is so meaningless in Rocket League, I couldn't disagree more.
Certainly a lot of
Couldn't disagree more.
predictions of the day probably getting shaken up there, as the standings already getting shaken up with the G2 Esports, again, the world champions, falling in their first match. But they get to play again, so we'll see if they can turn around, because coming up next, guys, we're going to have G2 Esports.
You want me to
back on
watch
the
a
field.
video
They're
of you
playing against
driving?
League 3. Now, remember,
Like driving in real life or
took out
driving in
G2
Rocket League?
Esports in the qualifiers
I mean, I
last
coach
week,
people,
so
but
we'll see if
it's not
G2
cheap,
Esports
so
can
I'm
recover
going to
from
warn
this
you.
0-3
Because I don't enjoy it very
deficit
much,
and bring it
so
back against Take
I
Two.
charge
We'll take a
more
short
to
break. We'll be back
compensate
with more
myself
Rocket League
for
here at the Rocket League
the boredom.
Championship Series Season 2.
Alright, that's Revival versus G2. I didn't see this coming. I thought G2 would... I didn't think they were going to lose to Revival. My goodness. Oh, I forgot to put up the text, actually. That reminds me. Subscribe to Rocket League Esports on YouTube, because that is what I'm watching. It isn't my channel. This is not my channel that I'm advertising. This is the channel of which I am watching games at the moment. You can subscribe to their channel on YouTube to get exclusive what's it called, viewing of their new uploads, because I've decided not only will I wait for the YouTube videos to come out before I do VOD reviews. It's not just for the fact that the player is easier to work with. It's also because I feel like the first YouTube content that should be available for people to watch should be the actual content creator, not me. So I'm gonna wait until they've got their YouTube video up before I make any content on it myself.